Hey dear chess enjoyers, today we will together continue to explore the exciting chess world, or to be more specific, I will show and explain you a crazy and very interesting opening. How you hopefully already read in the title of this video, in this video I won't show you a really very common opening, but rather an uncommon opening in the chess world that is still pretty interesting and also very surprising for your opponent, especially if he's a chess beginner or also an intermediate chess player. The opening which I'm talking about has some different names, but if we talk about the Polish opening or also the Sokolsky Opening, the Orangutan Opening, then you know we are talking about the uncommon opening or uncommon way of starting a chess match with pawn b4 like this. One of the earliest opening plays of b4 was by Bernhard Flessing against Karl Schlechter, two Austrian chess players from the year 1893. Black's most common reply in this position is to play pawn e5. With this move, they're not only gaining more control and power of the whole chessboard by placing a pawn here in the center of the chessboard, but they are also right now revealing an attack by the Black's king's bishop from f8 right now here on our pawn on b4. And White has now two different ways of how they can defend an attack pawn. The first one is the so-called Bugayev Attack after pawn a3. But White has also another option of how they can defend the pawn, and this is by fianchettoing their bishop right now on b2 like this. But if you say right now, wait, we are not actually defending the pawn, then you're right, but still, we are now also revealing an attack on the Black's pawn on e5, so a little counter attack. So we are not losing material in this position in either way, and this is a very playable and often played and common played move right now. Bishop b2, fianchettoing the bishop. By the way, if you're also interested in learning more about other chess openings, then feel free, of course, after you have finished watching this video, to check out the playlist linked either down there in the video description or also somewhere here above me in the info box, where you can find videos about other chess openings. And of course, also don't forget to subscribe to this YouTube channel and activate the announcement bell so you won't miss any more chess videos on this channel. Thank you very much. So when White answers here this position with bishop b2, fianchettoing the white bishop and also attacking the Black pawn on e5, then Black here can play many different lines and variations. For example, there's the very interesting Wolford's Gambit after pawn c5. But Black can also play in this position pawn f6, and after White has answered with e4, Black can, use the Tartakova Gambit which White has played and capture the white pawn on b4 right now. And right now we get into the very interesting Brinkman variation. After bishop c4 like this, knight c6 by Black, pawn f4, queen e7, pawn f5, pawn g6, and so on and so on. But instead of playing pawn e5, Black can also continue the game by playing pawn d5 like this. And after White has again fianchettoed his bishop on b2 like this, there are two different lines of how the game can continue. The first one is the so-called Myers variation, where Black plays pawn c6 followed by pawn a4. So you can see very good right now that in the Myers variation of the Polish opening, or also called the Orangutan Opening or the Sokolsky Opening, we have a lot of development, especially by our pawns here on the queen side of the chessboard. And the second line in the game after pawn d5 and bishop to b2, fianchettoing the bishop by White, is the so-called German defense with this very interesting name. And here we also have a very interesting and surprising move by Black, only with the second move bringing out the queen on d6 right now, attacking our pawn on b4. So here we are defending with White the pawn by playing pawn a3, on which Black plays e5, now completely occupying the center of the chessboard with these two very strong pawns, also defended by this queen on d6 right now. We have now knight f3 by White, pawn e4 attacking the knight, knight d4 escaping from the attack, knight f6 followed by the very interesting and surprising move pawn c4, basically sacrificing this pawn right now to the black army and to the opponent. Pretty interesting, the German defense, isn't it? Okay, so these two variations were the two main lines, or two, yes, main answers of black of the Sokolsky Opening. The third most played line here is definitely knight f6. With this very, yes, interesting and solid and flexible move, black develops a piece and prepares more, yes, central occupation and development with moves like pawn d5, pawn e6, and so on and so on. A pretty interesting and curious line that appears in this variation, so knight f6, is after the fianchetto of our bishop, of course, on b2. So you can see that in the Sokolsky Polish opening, we have very often here the fianchetto of our queen's bishop on b2. And now pawn g6 followed by pawn g4. This variation has really a very curious name. It is called the Polish spike. So these three lines were the most played, or three most popular lines of the Polish opening, Orangutan Opening. Of course, there are also other sidelines, like for example the symmetrical variation of the Polish opening, which is of course pawn b5 with a symmetrical move, or also the interesting Birmingham gambit after pawn c5, and so on and so on. But they are definitely not that popular and less played than the other three main lines of the Polish opening. So this was an audio with this video. I really hope that you liked this video. If you liked it, feel free to subscribe to this YouTube channel, SchachRomatt, leave a like, and write down there in the comments about which other chess topics and chess themes you want to have a brand new video on this channel. Thank you very much. Until next time, bye!